Dubai is burning and Europe is about to get very, very rich. The greatest wealth transfer of the decade just started, and it's flowing straight back to the financial centers that American expats thought they had left behind. I'm Elle of House of Elle on YouTube. I have a PhD in computer science, and I use data analysis to identify patterns in geopolitics and economics. And what I'm watching unfold right now is the complete structural collapse of Dubai's entire business model, and European financial centers are the direct beneficiaries. Here's what happened. On March 1st, Iranian drones hit luxury hotels, residential towers, and international airports across Dubai. The Fairmont Palm Hotel caught fire. Residential buildings near the Burj Khalifa were struck. Dubai International Airport, one of the busiest in the whole world, was evacuated as smoke-filled terminals. This was not some distant military operation. This was drones hitting the exact neighborhoods where finance bros and crypto millionaires had relocated to escape European and American taxes. And this is not temporary. This is a permanent change. Iran just demonstrated that it can sustain these attacks indefinitely because of brutal economic asymmetry. Their drones cost $20,000 to build, while Gulf air defense systems burn through million-dollar interceptors to shoot them down. Even when defenders win tactically by intercepting 95% of incoming threats, they lose the financial war of attrition. Eventually, you run out of expensive missiles or the budget to keep buying them, while Iran keeps churning out cheap drones. There is no defensive solution to this problem that doesn't bankrupt the Gulf states first. The Shahed 136 drone costs Iran roughly $20,000 to $50,000 per unit. It carries explosive, flies up to 2,000 kilometers, and can be mass-produced. To shoot one down, Gulf states fire interceptor missiles costing $500,000 to $2 million. On Saturday alone, Iran fired 137 missiles and 209 drones at the UAE. Even when air defense intercepts 95% of incoming threats, Iran wins the economic war of attrition. Defenders lose financially even when they win tactically. Gulf states spend billions on air defense, but they cannot sustainably intercept waves of $20,000 drones without bankrupting themselves or running out of interceptors. And Dubai's entire value proposition just evaporated over a single weekend. For the past decade, Dubai has been the magnet for global wealth. The emirate welcomed 6,700 millionaires in 2024, leading the world for 3 consecutive years. Post-COVID, it became the destination for finance professionals and remote workers fleeing European taxes. It has low taxes, world-class infrastructure, and most importantly, ironclad security. That marketing campaign just ended. Cinzia Bianco, scholar of the European Council of Foreign Relations, said, and I'm quoting here, "This is Dubai's ultimate nightmare, as its very essence depended on being a safe oasis in a troubled region. There might be a way to be resilient, but there is no going back." Every expat who chose Dubai over London or Zurich is recalculating right now. They moved to Dubai for stability and low taxes. Now they appear to have neither. Wealthy expats panic bought in supermarkets and rushed to airports. On Sunday, peak tourist season, by the way, highways were empty, beaches deserted. Dubai has no bomb shelters, so families spend the night in underground parking garages. One American finance worker joked, another quote here, "Moved to Qatar to hide from taxes, now I'm hiding from missiles." One commenter also nailed it, another quote here, "This very frame is already being forwarded to every group chat, every boardroom, every family WhatsApp thread of every expat who chose the UAE over Singapore, over London, over Zurich. The calculation that built modern Dubai is being repriced in real time by people watching their skyline burn through their bedroom windows. And where does that capital go? Back to Europe. Before the strikes, the UK was already losing 16,500 millionaires in 2025, the largest outflow ever recorded. Most were moving to Dubai, while now that flow reverses. French wealth advisors report European expats in Dubai are moving their primary base to cities like Zurich while keeping business interests in the UAE. They're not abandoning Dubai entirely, they're just not willing to live there personally anymore. European financial centers like London, Zurich, Frankfurt, Amsterdam are about to see capital and talent inflows that they have not experienced in years. My book, Awake, the Practice of Critical Thinking in an Age of Self-Lies, covers exactly this kind of pattern recognition, how to identify when surface narratives mask structural vulnerabilities. It's available as ebook and audiobook. Subscribers get 10% off, and you can get the first chapter for free in the description and pinned comment. But here's the geopolitical irony now. Europe didn't create this, America did. The US maintains massive military bases across the Gulf, in Bahrain, in Qatar, in the UAE. Iran targets Dubai specifically because it hosts American military infrastructure, not because it hates luxury hotels. European financial centers don't have that problem. After Russia, Ukraine, Europe diversified energy and reduced reliance on volatile regions. Europe looks boring until the alternative is watching drones hit your neighborhood. And insurance locks this in. After the strikes, insurance companies withdrew coverage for commercial shipping through the Strait of Hormuz, and tanker operators suspended operations too. The same logic now applies to Dubai real estate and business operations. Insurance premiums for Gulf-based operations are spiking. Every corporation is recalculating whether tax savings justify operational risk. This cascades across all Gulf financial centers. Kuwait Stock Exchange suspended trading, Saudi Arabia's Tadawul down 1.5%, Qatar down 2%, all major Gulf airports hit or closed. The entire region's reputation as stable business destination just took catastrophic damage. I would watch for British and European expats quietly relocating families back to Europe over the next 6 months while maintaining nominal UAE residency, probably just for tax purposes. Keep the business registered in Dubai, but move your actual life somewhere that isn't a drone target. Europe is about to get a demographic and capital injection that it desperately needs. For years, European governments watched wealthy citizens flee to low-tax havens. Now those same people are discovering that geopolitical stability has value far beyond tax savings. Zurich looks expensive until Dubai is set on fire. The EU is coordinating repatriation efforts comparable to COVID-19. Remember that? When they brought home 600,000 citizens? Those people are not coming back as tourists. They're coming back as refugees from a war zone, sadly. The pattern is that the American military presence creates targets. Targets attract asymmetric warfare. Asymmetric warfare becomes economically unsustainable. Capital flees, Europe wins by default. Dubai will rebuild, but the calculation has permanently changed. The wealthiest people on earth just learned Dubai's safety was always contingent on Iran choosing not to act. That illusion is gone. Once trust and stability breaks, it's almost impossible to rebuild, especially when the structural vulnerability remains. Europe didn't have to do anything to win this time. They just had to not be Dubai. They had to not host American military installations, turning their cities into legitimate targets. They had to be boring, stable, and predictable, and for the first time in a decade, that is exactly what global wealth is looking for. If you want to understand how Europe is positioning its ultimate tech leverage over the US through semiconductor export controls, check out my video on that topic, linked to the screen right now. It is exactly the same pattern. Europe playing the long game while America creates its own vulnerabilities. Dubai isn't dead, but it's no longer the unquestioned safe haven for global capital. And that means Europe just won the biggest prize in international finance: trust.